Definitely right way up now. Let's hit that live. And hopefully that should work. Come on.
We are live.
Have you got us? We're live?
Yep.
Lovely darts. Why is that not coming through on my end then? Again.
There it is. Yep.
It's a mysterious.
Hey, Paul.
That's weird.
What's going on, John?
Not a whole lot.
There you go.
What's new with you?
Yeah. I've got us. I've got us. Okay. Okay, baby. Baby. I think we're good. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Fix. 111. I haven't got enough ones. We're just one man down. We're only one man down. Actually, we're two men down, but one of the guys isn't going to be with us. We got no Ryan Bowen tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We got no Ryan. But we do have an all-star cast, and we've got another one coming in, and maybe another couple coming in, but we'll see what happens there, depending on travel and availability. But Jerry Cadorette should be on.
Ryan is not coming on. Ryan is not coming on.
I'm going to address that quite early doors, mate. In a minute, I'm going to talk about that a little bit because
the world is on fire. It's exploding, and
yeah, it is. It is.
I missed all this, man. I missed all of it. I need to recap.
So we'll allow a few people to get in. Have we got anybody watching?
About 400.
Well, we got a few people in. We've got about 430 people in. So we're not. I'll let a few more people drift in. But guys, how are you doing? Hope everybody's well, and welcome to The Fix, brought to you by Armwrestlingforums.com. Remember, so much going down in the sport of arm wrestling. If you struggle to keep up with it, there's one thing you can do. Get yourself over to Armwrestlingforums.com, sign up, and they will send you the information. You'll know what's going down. They'll keep you in the loop. Armwrestlingforums.com, ladies and gents. Also, we are in association with the greatest beef jerky in the world, Western Survivor, in the mother fluffing house. This is how Brazink got that strong. Western Survivor, ladies and gents.
Yeah, he actually did send me some. It's good stuff.
It's good beer, isn't it?
It took me some instructions from the man to tell me how to properly eat it, because at first I thought, man, this is a little dry. This is tough, but yeah, if you let it sit in your mouth for a while and moisten up, it's actually quite tasty. It
is pretty serious gear. Get yourself over www.westernsurvivor.ca, mother fluffers. Check it out. No looking back when you get on the Western Survivor. Most men would have died. Now, where shall we start? My living God, where shall we start? The world's gone nuts in a couple of days. Sorry for the late arrival tonight, guys, as well. We actually came on late for a reason. Gary Roberts resurfaced after, holy shit, what has he been out for? 9 months or something?
6-9 months, yeah.
Yeah. So a long period of time out of the game, and all of a sudden, Gary Roberts pops back up. And why does he pop back up? Because things have been going down in this here town. And all of a sudden, the world goes crazy overnight. So for anybody who's been living under a rock in the arm wrestling community and doesn't know what happens, and Paul, of course, because he's actually had a massive tournament yesterday, and then Father's Day, and he has a life. The rest of us sad mother fluffers have been tuning into it all. So it turns out that a lot of focus has gone back onto rules and on referees and various things in the last couple of days. And that created a little bit of a backlash, understandably so. There was a couple of things put out there which maybe weren't necessarily thought through. I don't really want to hash over that ground again, because I feel like Ryan took a great deal of abuse and backlash off the back of it. And what I want to start the show tonight with this, okay? We, on this show, on The Fix, we have a lot of banter with Ryan Bowen. Ryan takes some serious stick. He takes some abuse. He takes some pasty, you know. And we have a lot of fun with it. And the main thing about this, from my perspective, is it should be fun. Okay, it's not meant to be serious. It's not meant to be a major problem. When somebody's affected by it in a really negative manner is when it's not fun anymore. And I got a message last night from Ryan, which was not great to read. Whether you love Ryan, whether you're not a Ryan fan, I think we should all try and keep our eyes on reality. Ryan's a bloke like anybody else. He's got feelings like anybody else. He's trying to earn a living in the sport of arm wrestling, and to be honest, he brings a great deal to the sport of arm wrestling, whether positive or negative. He's a constant talking point. And Ryan, you know, for a lot of people there may not know Ryan. I do know Ryan. I like Ryan. He's a good lad. When Ryan is saying that he's being really mentally affected by the abuse he's taking, it's personal abuse targeted at him and at his family, you got to try and take a minute and think, whoa, just let's hang on a second here, okay? For me personally, I'm not comfortable with any kind of situation. I'm going to say I wasn't on side with what Ryan put out there in terms of the wording of things. I wasn't a fan of that. I didn't appreciate it. I don't think it was well thought through. I think it was a little bit misleading in some respects. I think Ryan probably appreciates that as well. But ultimately, is it really that serious? Is it really that big? We're talking about an arm wrestling match, and we're talking about rules within an arm wrestling match. It's not really that serious. Personally, I've lost a very good friend of mine a few years ago through issues, mental illness, and the man got so down he committed suicide, and that will never leave me.
I'm not sure I'm fine. You don't want to rehash it, but just give me just a short review of why he's taking so much heat. I'm not sure I'm following what's been going on with that.
Yeah, Ryan.
Multiple layers, yeah, because you're talking about Devon, him, and Bill Collins. I
think to be honest, I know Devon very well, and I know that Devon would not want a situation to manifest itself where Ryan was taking massive amounts of personal abuse that was getting the guy down. He just wouldn't. That's right. Devon's not about that. I can tell you right now, he really isn't. And I believe. But
what did Devon take offense of? What was so offensive?
I think Devon put a video out in response to what Ryan had put in his video, which was the comment on there was that, yeah, it was clickbaity. It was a situation where he put on a video, this is the man who decides the match, or who will decide who wins, or something to that effect. I hadn't actually seen Devon's video when I first sort of saw the thing myself, and at the time I thought, okay, that's not great. My reasons for thinking that was not great, in fact, I thought it was a bit ridiculous, really, because it's a shame in terms of, well, on multiple levels. Number one, it detracts from the match. It detracts from the win or loss, whether it's Levan, whether it's Devon. It doesn't really matter. It distracts from that. It also puts unnecessary pressure onto Bill Collins, who's a good man. And he's in a situation that's an unenviable task in many respects, because if you're and there's a lot of, this has been a really polarizing situation. A lot of Devon fans, a lot of Levan fans, which is frigging great. It's excellent that our sport's getting that kind of passion and belief in there. I love that, but I don't think we should get to a situation where we start looking at refereeing and rules as being the main deciding factor in an arm wrestling match. If it comes to that situation, we might as well all give up. It's ridiculous.
So it's basically the title of his video that Devon took offense of. That he wasn't.
Devon just said
it was a clickbait type of
on that. Yeah, he said it's clickbaity and it's ridiculous that we're focusing on that kind of
thing. I mean, everybody does it. Everybody's been doing it. I mean, I can't imagine why Devon would take such offense to something like that. I mean, he's just trying. Ryan's just trying to get all angles of the match, and why not bring Bill Collins, get his perspective? What he's going to be up against. I mean, I find that that would be interesting to me. I don't know. I don't know what the title exactly said, but
the piece that he did was with Bill. To be fair, what I saw of it was a good piece. Ryan usually does good pieces. They were pretty strong. There was a lot of stuff that you may love it, you may hate it. It was a good perspective. It was fine. I think where the situation gets a little bit out of hand is if people start putting personal attacks into Ryan, and it starts getting to a situation where he's really, really mentally concerned by it or bothered by it.
But was it because of that Bill Collins and that video of something else? Because like Ryan put that clickbait on purpose. There was purpose behind the picture, behind the title. He expected views. He expected to create, chaos. Was there some attacks? Because I saw post he made about Delusional series? Was it, and it was after that? Was that the problem? Was that because I'm kind of lost here.
The posts on Facebook, I think, are what instigated Gary Roberts to do his live stream.
Okay, but that's again,
yeah,
that just happened.
Yeah. I'm out of the loop. I don't know what's being said on Facebook, but yeah, I don't find that like super offensive. I don't know why Devon would have took offense to that. But.
Overall sensitivity to rules content, most likely, I would say.
Yeah. Well, I know that was a big issue weeks ago, and the name calling and and then the misinterpretation of the name calling. I'm kind of familiar with all that stuff, but yeah, are the rules set now? Are they still up in the air? Is it up for debate? Does anybody actually know what the hell is going on other than possibly Devon?
I'm sure that the guys that are close to it may do. Obviously, I don't know whether. I certainly don't. I don't know what the situation is with the people that are within proximity to the match, the close proximity to the match. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they will when Devon arrives, if he's not already there. When Levan arrives, if he's not already there, I'm sure they'll be all over that. Because
Devon is there. Devon is already there.
Okay, so we're in a situation where I'm sure that's particularly because of the last couple of days. Once again, that situation's raised its head, and I'm sure that's going to be a big part of when people get over there. They're going to be talking about it straight away. But I didn't want to sort of dwell on that overly so tonight. I wanted to get to a situation where we try to focus on other stuff to a degree and get into the match a little bit, because hopefully, if this thing doesn't descend into something that's out of context, we could see a great arm wrestling match. And obviously, we're lucky to have John on here tonight. I think we've got Jerry coming on as well when he has a moment to jump on. And hopefully, as I say, we see a great arm wrestling match that delivers on the hype. Because that would be wonderful for the sport. If we've got a situation where so many people are tuning in, they get to see a great arm wrestling match between two physically imposing, impressive characters, I think it could do wonders for the game. And that will be ultimately what everybody's driving at, So there we are. So if anybody wondering where Ryan is, that's where he is tonight. Unfortunately, he's having to take a little time out. Ryan, hope you're all right, mate.
So I'm a little confused. I'm kind of with John before we move on. I haven't seen any of these 3 videos, and I don't know the content, but I guess what kind of stands out to me is like Ryan making a clickbait video is something like, and also taking very extreme stances at times has kind of been his MO for like 5 years. So like, are we surprised? Like, are we now all of a sudden offended by what Ryan has been doing for quite some time in generating hype for the sport? I mean, how can we get angry at somebody for doing something they're going to do? I'm always been a believer. If you know how people are, how can you get, and you expect them to do things, how can you be angry at them? I can't wait to look at these videos, I guess. It sounds like it's pretty negative. Hopefully it's not a downer, but I mean, this has been Ryan's stance for quite some time, and I think it's done good for the sport for the most part.
Builds hype.
Sorry, go Ray.
No, it just builds hype. It builds hype.
Yeah.
But I think it's not about the videos. I think it's Delusional series and things like. But again, that's Ryan. Like he's been doing it for 5 years.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not gonna be sorry that now he's like, well, contradicting himself, and he feels like, well, it's everyone else's fault and we have to play that game. He knows why he makes the videos. He knows why he puts out clickbait. Last 20 videos that are Devon and Levan. It makes sense. Just don't look at the negative stuff. Just try to erase it. His channel's growing like crazy. He's putting a lot of work. It will attract.
You can't play the safe zone and be politically correct.
Exactly.
And build excitement. You're looking for the drama. You're looking for the the stuff that's debatable and questionable. And I mean that's what he strives for, and that's what he's built his audience on. So I mean, yeah.
I think at the other end of the spectrum too is I think Ryan's so good at taking abuse, like and rolling with the punches and laughing with jokes that probably at some times, at some points in time, we forget that he's a human being too, and stuff affects him. So he's been such a great, like, broad-shouldered dude when it comes to taking criticism.
Yeah.
Like
if it's about trolls on Facebook, I would just give him the advice: just don't read it. Don't open it up. Don't even pay attention. If you don't know them, it's not worth even getting the least little bit excited over, right? I mean, it's, their opinion doesn't matter. What the hell? Move on.
Yeah, the only thing that, but as I say, I'm all for the banter. I mean, it's the British sense of humor. Our entire sense of humor is built on banter. We take the piss out of each other. That's how we do. I mean, I wouldn't stop that for all the tea. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. But what I don't want to see is anybody, whether it's Ryan or anybody else, becoming mentally affected by something where it's really bothering them. That ain't good. Ryan's got a young family. He's got obviously a severely handicapped daughter. People are attacking her and saying nasty stuff about her.
What?
It's not good. When you get people, it's just whoa. Come on.
Right. There's a line too. Like there's a line.
It's just #F Bowen. That's the only focus. No one else.
Yeah, it's banter, guys. It's mucking about. We don't want a situation where Ryan gets ground down to dust. Ryan says things that are daft. He does things that he puts himself into the firing line. And there's going to be people out there that says, yeah, I agree. He's doing it on purpose a lot of the time, and he's got to sort of tense up his chin and take the shot. And there's a degree of that, but there's also we as just humans, we got to be out there and think to ourselves, okay, that's a line. Let's leave it out.
Well, we've talked in the past about the trolling and stuff, and I'm probably one of the biggest fans of the trolling, like low key. I love reading the comments, like probably more than anybody. I laugh a ton about it. But there still has to be kind of a line too. Like, the guys who started with the troll accounts are hilarious, but it seems like every once in a while there's a few outliers that cross lines. And I don't think that's fair.
But as long as you're just laughing at home, if you start responding or showing any sign of weakness that it's affecting you, then it gets worse. But I work the it's just it's best just to laugh and ignore or dismiss it completely. Yeah, I mean, we'll get on to the main topics and get into the matches in a minute. But ultimately, Ryan, hope you're all right, dude. He's taking there you are, Ray.
And we hope you're back online on your channel doing what you do soon. And hope everything's all right, mate.
Slightly related to that. Coach Ray is going to beat Ryan.
Yeah, gathering momentum. I saw the thing you and Sandris put on earlier on with the angle up. It's quite nice stuff, mate. It's a good show.
Yeah, I'll say hi to Australians. What's up, guys? How you doing? Have a good day. Morning.
While I've been talking there, we've got also quite a few super chats in, so I'll knock a couple of these bad boys over. So apologies for those of you who've sent super chats and I haven't addressed them yet. Let's have a look. We'll get into here and see what we got. So Big Grove Goats with a very tasteful start. R.I.P. Ryan. Cheers, buddy. So that went flying in straight off the bat. Thanks very much. Let's have a look. Carlos Hakeem, Toddzilla versus the White Orc. Guys who've pulled a lot. Could that be a match in your future, Mr. Lynn?
I would love for it to be in my future. I think it has to be a little bit further down the line in my future for me to make it competitive at this point. I mean, that guy's like right now looking like he's on the furthest away planet that he's ever been from me. So I don't know. One day, maybe. Eventually when he gets old enough.
Man looks rock strong.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. I think he might be the best version of himself, but who knows?
He certainly looked unbelievable, hasn't he? I mean, we'll bring John's opinions in on that as well later on. I think he'll probably endorse that. Henry Bowswell with the super chat. So I guess Ryan didn't have thick skin. Probably just had a long day, worked very hard, and not slept much, and it hit him quite hard, I think. NWUK1 with a super chat. Thanks for your support, mates. But anytime we can swap Bowen for Brzenk is a result in my book. No offense, F. Bowen. 1 week out, the excitement and the hype is unreal. Yeah, we are closing in fast, mate. Carl Granoff with a super chat. Thanks, mates. But I wonder how many litres of HGH Levan has been taking. Couldn't possibly comment, mate. What do you want to know? A little smile on the face of John. Yeah. I mean, we get them. Juji Mugu with a super chat. No matter what arm wrestling, you should not touch each other's privates. per Gary of Arm TV. Yeah, Gary Roberts back in the game. I don't know. I didn't catch much of the show, but hopefully
I
Gary
catched it. Yeah, almost full. Yeah.
Yeah. Levan Saginashvili's kidney. Here's to another 44 episodes without blowing. A lot of love coming in from Ryan. Nice to see. NWUK1, thank you for your super chats. But I think Ryan has changed the title now to the man with the toughest job at King of the Table 4. Good stuff. I genuinely hope Ryan is okay. Thank you. He normally takes his stick well, so it must be pretty bad if it's affected him. Agree, mate. Yeah, that's the case. Henry Bowerslow with another super chat. But Ryan wrote the book that it is. I'll start that again. Take this penis out of my mouth and go again. Ryan wrote on Facebook that it was the Delusional series that gave him and his family mental issues. He did not say anything about the Devon thing. Yeah.
So I'm completely out of the loop on the Delusional. I know there's videos that people have made, kind of, but is that the extent of it, or is there like a Delusional website, or
no? I think the problem right now is, I think the biggest problem is when you type in a search Ryan Bowen, Delusional videos are at the top first. Then like 4 or 5 episodes are at the top.
They paid for the search engine. They paid for the search engine optimization.
I don't think they do. I think people just
I know.
Ryan and click on those videos.
Okay. So the Delusional creators, or the series of people, is it a handful? Is it
it's one channel.
A nation?
It's one channel called Armwrestling Bible, and the last video came out like 2 weeks ago. I love those videos. They're super funny. Like really.
I mean, it's amazing.
I've seen a couple of early ones.
Pretty amazing things. It's pretty. But
it's funny. But I let's be honest.
True story, Neil. True story. Like yesterday we had competition. So today Sanders stayed in Riga and he was training in a gym. So he finished training, he ordered some sushi, and he's in my office eating sushi. I walk in that office. Guess what he's watching? He's watching Delusional series. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, I usually watch 2-3 times a day.
2 or 3 times a day.
Gets him motivated, huh?
It's not a joke. Because
Delusional Ryan Bowen Part 6 is the 3rd result of the main search when you search Ryan Bowen on YouTube.
And that's because of the amount of hits that he's got, or the videos got.
Amount of people search for those videos and click on them. And I think search engine optimizes for that. It's like
entertainment's a big.
Yeah. I mean, at one point, I actually thought Ryan was doing a little bit of that on purpose. He was actually going in there to do stuff to create it, because there's the other angle. It's like the Max Clifford angle, isn't it?
Right.
There is no such thing as bad publicity.
No.
And Ryan obviously caught that.
I think he did the job. I think the job is done there. It's funny. It's funny. Like if I would have so much, like when I would say so many different contradictions, someone made those compilations. I'm like, this is funny, stupid, funny. I hate it, but funny.
Well, I actually messaged. Well, as the lads know, I messaged Ryan on our chat about what he put out on the Bill Collins thing with totally different set of considerations and criteria yesterday when I got home. And I hadn't actually seen at that point that Devon had done a video. And then I saw that Devon had done a video. Ryan said, Devon's done one. So I went to look at that last night. And so part of me was honestly thinking, okay, well, Ryan obviously will be sat at home thinking, well, that's that job done. That's going to get massive views because I've put something out there. It was controversial. Devon's responded. Things are going to go ridiculous, And I thought maybe that was his plan. And if you want to do that, then it's great marketing, isn't it? But it wasn't the case. Ryan obviously took a raft of abuse that we don't see, and some of it bothered the lad. And if it's getting him down to that extent, that's not great. Not good at all. I don't want to see anything. God forbid anything like that happens, and this bothers him that bad. But I wouldn't want to see anything negatively affect Ryan or anybody else in the game to that extent. It's not on. Let's knock over the rest of these super chats.
I feel like John is watching Delusional series right now.
On there with his earphones in.
I'm at my daughter's house, so I only have my little cell phone. I don't have the computer to be able to do double media.
Yeah, he'll be straight on it when this finishes. He'll be like, Let's wrap this up so I can catch up on the So Sebagles with a super chat. But Devon was mad at Bill, saying he was going to be the one who decides on the day because he is the referee. I don't think he was particularly mad at Ryan. Yeah. Not sure, mate. I mean, I'm sure. I'm
and just to be safe, just to be straight, do we have the rule set? Because that's like it's important. It's important if you're mistaken.
I asked, I did a super chat during that live stream, and I specifically asked, is there a paper copy of the King of the Table rules, and is it accessible to the public? And basically the answer was, it was no, and we're still working on it right now.
Okay. Guys, I asked for the same set of rules almost a year ago, right? And I was laughed at. And like, you don't know the rules? How can you not know the rules? They're public knowledge. Everybody knows the rules. Oh, what?
They're not. They're not.
And they're still not. So,
hey, John, I like to, I like to pick your brain, being the person, one of the people who most recently pulled Devon. How much of a factor do you think him being able to get the strap right away is? Or do you think it's a non-factor or a big deal or not?
Well, for me, it might not have been a factor to pull him straight away. I think just depending here on the rules, if you can fart around and after 30 seconds of farting around, you get put in a set grip, then there's still a possibility of being able to arm wrestle, at least try to arm wrestle without being directly put into the strap. So it would have been nice to try to know. For Levan, I mean, I think it might be a big deal for Levan. I mean, or at least he's thinking that it's going to be a big deal now. Maybe that's why this whole thing has happened. But I mean, Devon, well, in his own mind, I think obviously he feels like he needs to be in the straps, and there is some obvious doubt that he can't get there without being directly put in the straps. So obviously there's some fear factor there with Devon as far as not wanting to even, having to be tested to see if he can get away without being put directly in the straps. So in his mind, I think straps are very important, obviously.
Right.
Do you I mean, let's dive into that a little bit. I'll come back to some more super chats in a second, guys. But just dive into that a little bit, mate, because a lot of people have said, obviously, that in terms of physical or strength-related advantages, Devon probably has very little to offer in this match versus Levan, and Levan may be this untouchable pinnacle in terms of strength. I think sometimes, we spoke about it earlier on the phone, I think sometimes people can perceive that there's an enormous strength gap when in fact it's not that pronounced. Now, probably there's very few people in the world, if anyone, more qualified to answer that kind of question than yourself, because when you've been walking around at 85 to 100 kilos and pulling guys like Cleve Dean, Richard Lupkas, Goodridge, and other monsters, Alain Kareev, many guys. In your experience, how big do you think that percentage gap is? Do you agree that it's small percentage?
All the guys you just mentioned each had their own particular strengths and weakness. Levan is on the lines of a Cleve Dean. His strength is obviously his size, his thickness, his hand thickness and width, and his cupping ability. So, I mean, but on the other hand, I mean, Devon could possibly have just as good an arm strength and obviously endurance. So straps are very important for that particular match. So to answer your question more directly, strength, I mean, everybody's got their strengths and weaknesses, and obviously Devon, everybody knows Devon's strength is his endurance, and if he can somehow stop the match, that gas tank runs out really quick, especially when you're a kind of man like Levan that requires a lot of blood flow for those big muscles. They can deplete quite quickly. That the 1 or 2% strength difference right before the go can quickly, drop below with any kind of taxing, stoppage. So I mean, the match could, it could look like Levan is just completely dominant with just a 1% strength advantage because he can finish the match real quick. But if that explosive 1 second match lasts and gets stopped and goes 5 seconds, goes 10 seconds, then I mean, it can swing the other way, tremendously hard in Devon's favor. So, that's what's so hard about arm wrestling. Arm wrestling always looks so decisive one way or the other. When somebody beats the other, they think, oh my God, he's just way so much stronger. But in reality, if they can just somehow find that, especially in Devon's case, that stop, the pendulum can swing completely in the opposite direction. So, there's always a chance, and there's always a key. I mean, it's nobody can be everything at once. So everybody comes into the game with their ace and their power, and it's up to the other guy to expose it and take advantage of it.
Just on that, mate, when you were obviously getting ready to pull the giant pullers that you did, when obviously you were going in there with some pretty significant physical or leverage, at least disadvantages, you probably have the advantage in some areas like speed, technical versatility. But did you sort of watch these guys? Did you watch footage of them, study them when you were at events and so on, and break them down?
Of
did
course.
you actually look at sort of, and if so, how would you break Levan down, mate?
Yeah, even just trial and error. Like take, for instance, Cleve. It took me a day messing around at a non-tournament at a toy show in New York, and pulling him over and over and over again until finally figure out exactly what I needed to do to beat him. And that stuck with me. And if I were to, I could arm wrestle him probably 100 times in tournaments and he would have beat me easily every single time. Until one day I would think, okay, I'm going to try, seems so ridiculous, but I'm going to dad's move him and grab him around the wrist with my hand and see if I can, make him arm wrestle me with his arm instead of the massive dominant hand that he had. And lo and behold, sure enough, what the hell? The dude's human. I mean, he's monstrous. He's obviously, 20 plus inch forearms. You would think he'd be extremely strong, but hey, there was a weak link there, and it took just some craziness to expose it. And I've mentioned the same thing with Levan. I mean, not saying Levan is Cleve and he has that same weakness, but I mean, who knows? No one's really ever tested him wrist to wrist. He's been able to manipulate the hand and wrist with his, superior size and hand strength, and everybody seems to want to try to topple the guy. But I'm not saying Devon should try to do that, but there are certain people I think that might be able to give him a match if they could control it, wrist to wrist inside.
So when you've watched Levan, where do you, and obviously the sport inside out, John, as well as anybody that's ever done it. If you look at the strengths and where you felt the strengths and complexity from Devon, and when you break down Levan and you look at his arm wrestling, where do you see and how many lanes do you see opportunity for Devon in? Do you see multiple lanes? Is there one? Is there two?
Well, for me personally, if I was to approach Levan, my strengths, I would probably try to pull him initially like I pulled Cleve Dean. I would try to grab him low, try to negate that hand, that hand strength that he has, and try to see if I could do anything to bring his arm at an angle and make it a wrist-to-wrist side pressure game. Devon, he's got good inside strength, but I think his ace is that in his mind, and what he's been training is that outside top roll, that staying high. He's a little taller, obviously, well, maybe even a lot taller, staying high with the hand, getting in the straps and just pronating and get that little outside move and hope it sticks. I mean, I think his approach is probably going to be that, and it probably is appropriate for Levan. But I mean, if it doesn't work, I think, well, Devon with his endurance, I think he's probably going to stick with it, right? He's not going to be adventurous like some other people would be, like I would be like, okay, that didn't work. He just completely crushed me with his hand. I'm going to grab low and see what it feels like, hook to hook. Devon still has probably got the mindset that, no, it didn't work the first time. It didn't work the second time. At least I'm chunking away at it, and hopefully it'll work the third or fourth time. So, but yeah, no, everybody is so, written Devon off and made Levan this huge favorite just because of his, more or less, his size. I mean, yes, he does have experience against some great arm wrestlers and shown quite a bit of dominance. But then again, we could say the same thing about Dave Chafee until he ends up getting stopped. So, I mean, what seems to be such a huge strength advantage can quickly become, you know, oh, the guy is human. Yeah, he did get beat. Oh, what happened? You know, so I'm not going to say that I agree that Levan's going to easily win this thing. I have a suspicious feeling that this is going to get ugly and fun, and there's going to be some sweat and some panic on people's faces, and this should be a good one. I hope.
Really do. I really hope the same, mate. It would be amazing for the game if all this hype paid off and we got to see arm wrestling at its very best. That would be amazing. Guys, I'm going to get into some super chats in a minute, but I just want to pick up on that same thing with Ray. Ray, you've seen as much of these guys arm wrestling as anyone, and you've broken it down in detail. You are an absolute student of the sport from a technical perspective. We saw a series of situations manifest themselves recently, okay, and in a linear fashion. So first of all, you got a match in the top 8 between Larratt and Saginashvili. And the big talking point from those in the game was that at the start of that match, I remember myself and Paul Lynn on here, we were talking about it on one episode of The Fix. And it was around the fact that off that kick, off the start, that match could have gone, if it had been 5 pounds more pressure the other way, it could have easily been in favour of Larratt. And we picked up on that, we discussed it, and we had a big chat around it. Now, then we wind the clock forward, and the reputations have been forged, and everybody's got Levan as number 1, and they got Vitaly Larratt as number 2. Now we find ourselves in a situation where recently we saw Silayev get a win over Larratt. And suddenly everybody humanizes all these guys, and suddenly we see a huge swing in the bets. How do you personally see that, mate? When you look at, is it a styles make matches thing? Do we see that Devon, based on style, do you think he has a better chance than someone like Vitaly against a puller like Levan? Style on style.
Well, Devon can pull any style. We know that. He can adapt to any style. How I'm thinking really honestly, I think Levan, Devon from the go will not be as strong as Vitaly was. He never was. He's going for different things. Vitaly wants to take your hand and beat you. Levan stopped him. You know, it was a hard first round, but after that, he took full control and everything. Sometimes, like everyone knows here, you need that first round to adapt to situation, to adapt to your opponent, to figure out, maybe you haven't woken up. Revas and Michael Todd, first round, and you just see first round, you turn off and you're like, no need to watch this, but maybe you just saw from the second round, you're like, okay. So I think you have to take that in point. And Devon is never going for that strength. Like looking at every match, he's going for control. He wants to train you with side pusher. He's going all the time, all this. Like every practice match he has, he does this. He's not going for same things as Vitaly Larratt is going. And I think with Levan, you need to take control if you cannot train him. So I think if the plan is to stop him at any point and you can stop him in a strap, you can pull harder, you can maybe King's move, maybe pull your elbow over, it doesn't matter. But you can make him work. I think it works. But he's going for different things. And it's not just same. I have no belief that Devon for first 2 rounds can just hit into Levan in any way, shape, or form. Even like 6 months of pancakes cannot do that if we haven't seen it for 20 years in arm wrestling career. You cannot fight instincts. You cannot find your weaknesses. You cannot erase them that easy. And it's never been demonstrated to go straight for that pin. But his strength has always been take the control of the match, So make you work. Even with John hit him close to a pad, and then he pulled back, stretched him out, made him work, took control. And after that, it's like the hand is pumped. You lost so much energy trying to press down that it's gone.
Pulling on the counter.
Yeah. And the question, the biggest question is, because I'm a hard believer that Levan is just gonna do this straight away. Can he stop them there? Will he stop? Will he pin Devon before he pulls his elbow over the pad? Because that's the only place you can go at that point. When you want to stretch him out, and everyone knows what I think. Everyone has idea of the match, how it's going to happen, and I think it's pretty similar for everyone who's been paying attention.
Yeah, and Levan's hand and wrist is going to be strong enough. It's whether or not his side pressure is strong enough to finish Devon's
back pressure to hold him in position.
Yeah, Devon can't expect to take Levan's hand or wrist, or even really to probably tax his hand or wrist initially. But if he can stop it because of the side pressure,
so
then it's
my how I see it. Let's say in this is scenario where Devon gets the job done. First 2 rounds, he might go full straight out King's move, pull back as much as he can. In that scenario, either he gets a foul and they stop the match for a reason or something, and then they restart, and Levan's getting more tired, or they don't, and he still gets that. After then, he can stop him, take control, and do whatever, because that's how he arm wrestles.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the biggest question is, can he do it? Because the strength gap is gonna be there. You cannot, we lost John. We just lost John.
He'll be back. He'll dial back in, guys. While we've lost, hold that thought, Ray. Hold that thought, and we'll crack some super chats just while we can. Wait a minute, because there's a lot of super chats that have come in that I ain't been able to get to. So we'll just knock some of these puppy dogs over. So Emperor Engin and Darth Ray with a super chat. Thanks for your support, mates. But Bill confirmed what Devon has been saying all along about the rules. Interesting.
It is true. There was a lot of confirmations over the last couple of days that Devon's been fairly straight about what the happenings were regarding the rules.
Was anyone really questioning that Devon was lying?
Yes.
I mean, were they really?
A lot of people chat forums all over the place were, and there were people coming on the chat and giving it some. I think whether or not they believe that.
Right. That's what I mean.
It's
like,
an angle in it. It's a trolling angle.
To take Devon's approach and be as direct as he was about all of it, that takes a lot of intestinal fortitude to just make something up. I never once doubted that he was being truthful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you always get people spamming. We had a penis a minute ago in the chat here that was saying they really hated my accent. All I can say to you is, son, you should meet my wife and go out for a drink with her, because you two get on.
Call Kelly and tell her that the screws are in that drawer. I told her before I left, but
JADE with a super chat.
They're not talking to each other.
Super chat, just giving us a hype. Thanks, brother. Regular supporter of the channel. Big Grove Goats with a super chat. What Paul just said. Oh shit, that's probably a while back, but he has expanded. Ryan acts like he doesn't care, but he's human, and at some point it does start to hurt him, I'm sure. He's one of the few people trying to mature a living, and we need to be good people. Yeah, fair play to you, mate. Absolutely. Let me just not lose that puppy dog. All that there, right. Farts with a super chat. Thanks, mates. But Bowen, one video has a 7.5-inch hand. Next video, 8.5-inch hand. I mean, you always thought he was trolling us. Yeah, well, it's definitely an angle, mate. Penguin Turdsy with a super chat. He's put, John, is Corey West better than Monster Michael Todd right now?
I don't know. I guess I'm going to find out in 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah. It's 9th of July, isn't it?
9th of July, yeah.
Yeah, for those who don't know, guys, 9th of July, Monster Factory. Tune in, check it out. You can get that by going over to Monster Michael Todd's channel. Get subbed, you get to see John and Corey West. Another absolutely great card.
The one that she fixed. The one that she fixed, it's in the very front of it.
It's in the very front of it.
There's just still 3 little screws.
There's three little screws.
Check out Armwrestling with a super chat. He's put great show, gents. Thanks for your support, mate. Much appreciate it. We got Wax On, Wax Off with a super chat. Devon just did a 30-second vid that confirmed the rules. Need to check that out myself. Been setting up and haven't seen it, mate. Blake with a super chat. Can you please convert this show into a podcast on Spotify or some other podcast platform? I love to listen. I don't always have time to watch.
So I looked back and we have posted, I think, 67 episodes and it's up on Spotify. I'll get back to it and I'll post the rest that we have missed. So it will be on Spotify in next month. Everything there.
Lovely darts. Technical directors on it, son. Russell Tyrone Jones with a super chat. When will we see you face Todd Hutchins, Mr. John Brzezinski? Do it in arm. Do it in arm.
Yeah. What? I'm hearing something in my head. I'm not sure what it is.
Do it in arm.
I don't know. I don't know if Todd and I will ever pull. Well, I think eventually we'll have to pull if I stick with the game long enough. I know Engin Terzi was kind of hinting, maybe wanting to do it in November. I'm like, no, I'm not going all the way to Istanbul to pull Mr. Todd Hutchins. We're going to have to do that in the United States. So, yeah, I don't know. It's going to happen probably. We have to figure it out. Unless he loses the guys that I beat, then I'm going to say, yeah, it's not worth my time.
No, we should do, John. We should do it in Vegas, John.
Vegas. Oh, yeah. I haven't been to Vegas in a while.
Let's do this thing.
Yeah,
like
Vegas.
Let's go Vegas.
I'm good with Vegas.
Let's go Vegas.
Vegas is close.
That'll
drive to Vegas.
Fish Lip with a super chat. Thanks, mate. Smiley face and scary face. Cobra Rhodes. And I think that's his actual. I think that is the real Cobra Rhodes in the super. You get your ass on here, Cobra. In the chat, Cobra. Hope you're well, mate. Let's have a look. What do we got? Fish Lip again with another super chat. Thanks, brother. Knocking these over best I can. Carl Granath. Levan versus Devon fighting at the table. Who you got? Hopefully, it don't come down to that. I mean, that would be bad, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. If it's descended, I mean, it'd be great for views in some respects, but it'd be terrible for our sport. It would suck.
Can you imagine trying to even get a hold of Levan, even to try to choke him out? Even if you let you have his neck, you're probably not choking him out.
Don tear his bicep last time he was trying to separate Thor and Eddie.
Yeah.
But he has another bicep, so.
Mate, I tell you what. Yeah, you wouldn't want to get in the mix with that, would you? That'd be an interesting set too. Jujimugu with a super chat. Look up delusional in the Oxford Dictionary. Noun. You'll see Bowen. Plus an example.
I lose my internet.
Bowen, that delusional bloke. Here we go. Fart with another super chat. Ryan is trolling us, guys. You all been talking about him for 20 minutes, giving his videos publicity. You can't say a huge contradictions he says on video or not to be trolling the fans. So what Ray was saying earlier, Fart, he's all over the same opinion. He's doing it on purpose. I don't know, but I can only go what off the man has told me, and I am concerned about Ryan if it's bothering the lad, and he's a personal friend of mine, obviously, as all the lads on the show are. And I wouldn't want to be in any way creating a situation that was heavy on the guy. It's just not what I want to do. White Wolf with a super chat. Thanks, mate. He's put 1,300 legends in here watching this. Shut the is there?
More.
1,300.
Is there?
Yeah.
70.
Brilliant. Amazing. That's amazing. Thank you very much, everybody who's tuning in and checking out the show. Wow. And you're watching this, Devon and Levan fans. Doesn't matter. This is going to be a lot of fun. Super disappointed in core sports, lack of promotion. A car video 6 days out, no athletes, unbelievable fail. Got to get better. Hopefully,
yeah, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, it looks like it's a hell of a venue, though.
Yeah.
Looks awesome. I think they're heading in the right direction.
You know, they said at the end of the event, commentators get to pick one car and just drive back home.
Oh, darts that are lovely. Yeah,
are they doing it at the Strong Gym again, or are they
no
another
it's
site?
like a luxury car dealership.
Oh, nice.
It's called The Space.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
The Space.
Mate, I would absolutely. I honestly think it could be mega. It's got a good flavor about it. It looks.
It's gonna be great, except that James is coming.
Oh, that wanker.
Yeah, I know.
James
we need to. Yeah.
No, Jason Statham. Sorry.
Well, let's call him by his proper name. We need
Jason.
Big J Wank is on it. He's coming out. So let's have a look. We've got more super chats to knock over, and then we'll get back into the flow. Where the hell is Jerry as well? Jerry Card, where you at? So knowing Jerry's probably nacked it. Get the link sorted out.
He must think Chance is here.
Oh! Oh, mate.
Is that inappropriate or what?
I love it. I love it.
CMTL with a super chat. He's put, evening all. Maybe a sensitive question with the GOAT in the call. But if Devon conquers this mountain, would he be closing in on the GOAT title himself? By the way, how do I buy this hyped beef jerky in the EU? Mate, I will speak to you separately about the Western Survivor beef jerky. But what I can tell you is this. I've shipped some from Canada. Still tastes bloody good to me, son. Good gear. Let's have a look. GB19 with a super chat. Have you seen... Wait a minute. Cobra, I've emailed it to you, mate. I am full on live on the fix. I'm the fat one. But I have emailed it. Check
Alligator? Yeah. Call me back later. I emailed you later. Okay, cool.
Absolute quality. John, can you do us a favour, mate? Can you just forward that link to Andy?
Yes.
Thanks.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I'm like, dude, you'll lose me forever if I try to manipulate.
It's like you out of your
John was scared for a second. He's like, no.
Yeah.
Can't touch anything.
Oh, amazing. GB19. But have you seen Devon and Adam confirming King of the Table 1, 2, and 4 rules?
Yes.
Ray, have you seen it?
Yes, I saw it. Yeah.
Ray has seen it, GB19. I have not seen it.
Yeah.
What is that basically? Outline it for us, Ray.
I would not believe anything Adam Silver says.
Well,
this was a joke. I'm kidding. And yes, they pretty much confirmed. He asked because Adam
1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. There's some KOTs missing, right? Because there's been three, right? Or 4 already. 4 or 3 or 4.
This is
so
4.
Just for my purposes, we're saying that the rules are the same as King of the Table 2.
Yeah.
For this event, yeah.
That's what was said. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the one I was at, right?
And how did they differ specifically from
You were
3?
at the second one.
They weren't. I was at the second one. Yeah. So
it was
first one and the second.
I was in the first one.
First one and second one were the same, right?
No.
Okay.
So how did they differ, and how did it differ from 3?
So they told us you would get an auto strap after 30 seconds. When I was taking grip, it was set grip. Thumbs, close your hands, ready.
Never got that. Yeah, never got that.
Exactly. And I was like, where did you guys lost that?
Right.
And that's when all the problems started, when Ray started exposing everything.
It's Ray's fault.
Ray's fault.
Ray's fault.
Well, Devon came on. He said he's.
But I thought that was when Dave Chafee was there. That was King of the Table 3.
No, in King of the Table 3, they said not a strap after 30 seconds, but we go for referee's grip.
Right.
So,
and that's the one that you were at that
yes.
he was upset that you didn't speak up.
Yeah, and I destroyed arm wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I need to get some mustache in here.
It's all Ray's fault. Most bad things, Ray's fault. Invasion of Crete, Ray.
Yeah. I was there.
He was on it. First
7,000 years ago.
Let's have a look. And you wouldn't think so with that skin tone, would you? Look at him. Absolutely blemishless. Here he is.
How are you?
Rolls in the house. How you
I'm
doing,
in here
dude?
with the goat. I'm trying to see the goat. I want to be in the same chat as the goat. What happened?
Oh, I got to scroll if I'm going to see Cobra, right?
I can see you, John. It's all right. I can see you, Coach Ray. I'm good. But Uncle John Rock.
Oh, there's Paul. There's Paul.
What's up, Cobra? No mercy, no pain.
Who
That's right.
Who you got in the background there? You got fancy shit going on behind you? Is that Levan or is that Dave Chafee? I can't hardly tell.
Oh, I can't see
his head's cut off.
Oh, I'll get out the way.
No, yeah, it's still cut off.
Disappeared as well.
Still cut off. Oh well.
Oh man, look at the state of that.
Better? Can you see it now?
To be fair, Cobra, he's making you look slim there, mate. You look like a racing snake with full-blown AIDS.
Hey, well, you know, Weight Watchers.
Right, here we go. Let's have a look. So, Emperor Engen and Darth Race, but Bill has confirmed the written rules. Surely I've already read that one. So, what the frick? Why has that come back up? What's going on in this goddamn play? Here we go. Michael Nussbaum. I hope I haven't murdered your name, mate, or Nussbaum. Baum. He's put, go back to Larry Wheel's channel days before King of the Table 1. There's a video where the rules were discussed in detail with Bill Collins and all the athletes. Coach Ray was there. The rules are public knowledge.
Yeah, but this is what people try to tell me all the time. There is a difference between a video talking about rules and written rules where you can actually read what's going on and get the specifics of it.
I don't know what happened with the first and the second one, because I think on the first one, the setups, like kind of WL setups.
They all can be changed. The written, the video, they all can be obviously completely changed, because we're talking about King of the Table 3 now that you were at, that you didn't defend when they tried to change it on King of the Table 3. Those got changed too now, right?
They to defend for. I didn't know what I was defending for.
Yeah. It's implied that King of the Table rules stay the same since they were negotiated in King of the Table 1. That's the given, right? I mean, seemingly. So anything that gets changed or written, video, doesn't matter. It can be changed back, obviously.
I get the feeling that there will be some discussion on it when we're out there, but it sounds like if
I can't wait for the rules meeting, Neil.
Well, hey, I will be somewhere drinking a cocktail.
No, you're not gonna. You're gonna be right there in the middle. I'll tell Bill Collins to use you as a prop, not me.
Don't be silly. I will fly Cobra's ass in, just so I can go out, put on a straw hat with a flower in it, and we be go drinking.
It's 42 degrees Celsius there. You will not be outside.
Can you imagine if I go out there, mate? I'll be dead.
Yeah. You look like a raisin.
They look like a lobster.
It won't work, mate. I spend 20
minutes. He already
looks like a lobster. My nose wrecks. So I don't need any of that in my life.
I don't know how you get skin burn from sun every weekend.
Dude,
it's kind of hard to explain.
I'm not meant for the sun. I'm part Viking.
You had a little color spending the week in Arizona, Ray. I mean,
I had, yeah.
Obviously, now you're back in the cage, in the dark.
It's still
no, man, it's not the same as it was.
It's not the same. No.
Farmer Sam. So Emperor Engen and Darth Ray, he's put on there. Bill Collins has actually confirmed everything Devon's has been saying about the rules again for King of the Table 4. So, yeah, I think we should just park the whole rules thing because it kind of blows and it's just going to fire everybody up. Now, here's a proper dude. Marcus Thompson with the super chat. Mate, legendary. Thanks for your support, mate. As usual, absolutely awesome. And he's put, as Neil said, us Irish and Brits live for banter and slagging. We can take anything, but crossing the line with family is zero tolerance. The usual suspects will be watching the Muppet Trolls. Ryan, head up, get back online. Feck them, you bring a lot of debate to the sport. Cheers, Marcus. Echo that sentiment entirely, mate. I know Gary and Ryan have had beefs. I feel like they need to jump on a call and try and sort that out. Love you, Tash, Ray. It's quality. Magnum PI. Absolute quality. Safety
Read my name. Read my name.
Don Thompson. Love it, mate. Get a jacket on. Sleeves up. Safety Fox, thanks for your super chat, mate. Much appreciate it. NWUK1. Oh my God. If Devon wins with the dad move, the intellect will implode. Ooh. John, what have you done? That will get clipped and pushed viral. Well, I'll tell you what it is. I wouldn't put it past Devon to try that if he'd stopped and exhausted Devon.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
If Levan is gassed out, the dad move will definitely work for Devon.
It will be coming out. There's no doubt. And even Levan will know that. He'll think, "Oh, please don't get burned out.
Don't do that to me." Yeah, if your dad's move me.
There's nothing worse than being burned out, so your arm's completely scrap, and then somebody dad moves your ass. That's worse. I don't know because John's done it to me. That prick.
Yeah, John's a motherfucker. But I'll say something. Hey, Neil, if I can have the floor for like 20 seconds. John Brzezinski, like springboarded my career up in Amos, Quebec, when he used to watch me wear out dude's wrist and he'd say, "Dude, you got to strengthen your shoulder because you should be beating these guys." Because I used to hang out for like 5 minutes on these French Canadians that were like deadly inside angles. And I'd come off that stage with second place, and John's like, "Man, you should have won that match 10 minutes ago." But I strengthened my shoulder. Look what happened. John Brzezinski gave me that.
You needed that finishing press move, but you never had it.
Never had it. Didn't want no part of it till I heard it from that dude. And you know the rest.
This is an interesting super chat right here from Big Grove Goats. Thanks for your chat, mates. But I get the impression from John that if he felt Levan, he could know in his head what the secret is to beating him. That's because John's table IQ is 1 million.
No, there might not be a secret, but I mean, you don't know until you pull the guy for hours. You got to figure it out. I mean, there might not be a key. You just have to be bigger and stronger. I mean, I'm not saying that there is a weakness in Levan, but there may be. I mean,
I agree with that sentiment 1,000,000%, because you have a situation where how often do we see training partners cause problems for people? If you're really well versed with someone, you might give problems to someone you can't be anywhere near the amount of people that he can. But you can give him trouble because you got his ass worked out because you're pulling him all the time. We see that all the time in this game. And in fight sports generally, you get a guy and say, I used to spar with this guy and I can give him major trouble. May not be able to touch half the guys he can KO, but that guy, problem for you. Right. And that's a real thing. Mediocre Pro Native with the super chat. Thanks, mate. Much appreciate your support. Not put anything on there. Juji Mugu, which is more popular, F. Bowen or Ready Bang? John, what are you going for?
Oh, Bowen's way more popular, right? He's got way more followers.
Hey,
than Ready Bang.
Yeah, but you're talking about his fun.
I thought you were talking. He was asking about the Ready Bang.
Aussies.
F. Bowen.
Are you talking about? Okay, yeah.
F. Bowen.
Uncle John's going all day. You've got to answer to this guy when you're on his show. It's probably straight after this, I would imagine. So you're in the Ready Bang corner all day. Yeah, because Uncle John will be going on with Jake probably straight after this.
F. Bowen. It's F. Bowen. I can't wait to get on stage and the crowd will cheer.
Hey, do you guys know, is there going to be an actual crowd at this?
Yes. You can buy tickets. It's going to be a big venue, open, and you can come to Istanbul, see, one of the goats in arm wrestling get destroyed by some 5'0" guy from Latvia.
Some Magnum PI guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Absolutely.
My name's Don Thompson.
Have a look if we've missed any super chats. Sondra Ambush Arm Wrestling. John Brzezinski, you are everybody's daddy in this sport, apart from Cobra, because Cobra's 945 years old. Mm-hmm. I have a huge amount of respect for your achievements. I think Devon will win against Levan the same way you destroyed Siplenkov back in 2008. Much love from Norway. That's from Sondra.
I personally would like to see it, just to be able to smile and say, hey, size isn't everything. I mean, there's more to this game than just monster size.
I tell my missus that
every night.
I knew that was coming. Actually, I knew that was coming.
Every night, John.
As I was saying that,
as soon as you said
someone's going to pounce on this.
He was like, I'll set this break up now. Oh, no.
I keep telling them size isn't everything.
Everything.
It's not everything. When me and Roll here on
I just really want to see a small guy win.
It's all about the technique. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to see small guy win. That's it. This ball guy should win.
It's a terrible thing, though. How do you think my wife's boyfriend even gets in this chat? It would be a problem, mate. I wouldn't have these issues. Anyway, let's knock over the rest of these. I wonder where the frig Jerry is as well. Come on, Jerry. Got to be watching. So, here's a nice positive super chat from Mediocre Pro Native. And he's put, super heavyweight division has turned into who takes the most and the biggest stack to get away with the health-wise. Makes the supers division boring. Yeah.
It's always been boring.
Compared with the middleweights. Compared with the roller ray class.
Like, just go to 90 kg. That's all you need in your life.
That's all you need, yeah.
Even John's like... John's like... That's it.
There's still hope for the little guys. The little guys are going to make a comeback, and the light heavyweights will be back. We'll be back taking on the super heavyweights, the monsters. Todd Hutchins is a contender. Wait and see, guys. It's not over yet.
If I would ask you, where would you see the best and most entertaining and most technical arm wrestlers? Would you go to super heavyweights?
Technically.
Well, yeah, no, lately the super heavyweights have been kind of fun just because of and I hate to say this, because of the defensive styles that have been coming out with the King's move. And, it's been more exciting because the approach isn't so matter of fact, ready, go, bang, try to win. There is some strategy in like wearing guys out and of course the super match format helps that. But I don't know. I mean, in my mind, I think arm wrestling is gotten more evolved now because it's not so like whoever can get the initial offensive position off the go. It's still not over. Even if you got the 90% to the pad, it's still questionable. And more or less the heavyweights are the ones that have been doing that lately. So I'm on the heavyweight bandwagon as far as exciting matches go.
Well, it's kind of like Cobra made a name for himself doing the giant killing thing. You made a name for yourself doing the giant killing thing.
The small guys are so lightning fast that typically it's like bang bang one way or the other. Somebody got the jump. Somebody takes the other guy out of position. It's over. I mean, you very seldom. Well, I shouldn't say that because there are some grinders in the lightweight classes also. But I think it's all exciting.
I think that we covered it the other week in the sort of, we did a fix show, which we just titled like, the time of giants. And one of the things is that now in the super heavyweight division, you do have guys with enough technical prowess to make life extremely difficult and also dangerous in terms of racking up serious joint injuries and ligament and tendon damage if you are a naturally smaller athlete, because some of these lads are monsters. They're massive.
Yeah.
And there's a lot.
I think there's some downside to becoming monstrous. So you lose your explosivity a little bit and you lose your ability to have any kind of endurance. I mean, you become a one trick, have to win after the go type puller.
But if you look at Devon now, I mean, he's still got endurance for days and the dude's like 6'5" and approaching 300 pounds. Right. It's like, what the, it's crazy and pull all day. It's like it's evolving. There's just weirdos in the game, and it's hard to pull again. I mean, people don't realize you used to pull at 85 kilograms, and obviously, if you've got older and relaxed and not committed, can't be bothered losing weight anyway or holding that weight, and didn't need to. Let's be honest. So
me, 85 kilos. I was 85 kilos when I was in 6th grade.
You were like 20, but you used to pull in 85 to 90 kilos. I think the last time I saw you pulling 85 kilos was late
90. A couple of years out of high school, I was a 210 pounder. I was maybe a 95 kilo guy, never 90. But 90 if it was like big money to be had, and I would kill myself suffering. But 85, the scales were screwed up.
If you're a guy that can make an 85 kilo class, a 90 kilo class, that's remarkable when you were able to beat the super heavyweights. You're talking at guys here, if you cut Alex Cadette's legs off, you wouldn't be able to make 85 kilos. The dude's nose is 61 kilos.
Has anybody even spoke about the Cadette Corey West?
It's a huge match.
There's a lot of beef on the table like that.
I think Corey's got a good chance. I mean, if Dave was able to control Cadette, I mean, I'm not saying Dave or, Corey's quite as strong as Dave is, the way his side pressure is, but his hand's pretty comparable. I mean, I won't be surprised if Corey, I would love to see Corey win that match. That'd be so awesome.
I think there's a couple of potentials in this to sort of reset people's thinking. I've got to be honest, I think all 3 matches on the card are friggin' awesome. I think Marcio and Irakli's an awesome match as well.
Irakli's gonna have a hard time dealing with a posting style top roll like Marcio is gonna bring. I mean, if you have never dealt with that, your top roll goes out the window because you ain't got nothing to top roll when someone's keeping their knuckles high like that and posting back like Marcio does. It's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different approach when you got someone like that. You've got to commit to try to get that arm at an angle and almost hook before you can top roll.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's gonna be
Marcio's hit is so violent. It's horrible.
hard to stop it.
It's
Good
horrible.
word, Cobra. That is a good. It is violent, is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a horrible.
It's not good.
mistake, really
It's
bad.
not good.
Stands, and he's not got a big hand. He stands that little hand up, friggin' vertical.
But he closes it on somebody.
Yeah. Yeah,
I did a live stream with Marcio this morning, and for just to give everybody an idea of what he's going for, when I asked him, you know, you got Irakli now, who else is in your sights? He said Todd Hutchings. Period.
Again.
He's dangerous for Todd too, because Todd has a hard time reeling that in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Marcio doesn't give back angles either. He doesn't make mistakes. There's still a lot of these new guys are making a lot of mistakes. Marcio doesn't. He's a seasoned gladiator, man. That guy.
Yeah, no, I got Marcio as a favorite going against Irakli for sure. I'll be surprised if he loses the match.
Very underrated arm wrestler. Very like Jerry for me, actually. Jerry was the same. I mean, he's been right there for so long, so much experience. Marcio, if he can keep calm, keep that elbow down, and just do what he does, he's lethally dangerous. So, but Irakli is no bum. He's got a really. I mean, people can say, "Oh, he's a one-trick pony," but
no. Irakli, I think, is capable of winning. Whether or not he figures out how to is another.
Where do you see it percentage balance? Are we talking 40 or nearer to sort of 45, 55? Where do you see it?
Well, I just see that there's a possibility he would have to go in with the proper mindset of actually coming across the table and using his hand strength, not to top roll, but to come forward and let the hook fall and then use his back pressure to try to attack Marcio's hand. So it's a combination move to deal with Marcio. It's let that hook happen, defend against that hard side pressure hit that's coming, and then once it stops, then go for the top roll.
John Brzenk, would you agree that would you agree that for Irakli that takes a lot of commitment and your mind will
I'm not sure he's brave enough
quickly once Marcio blast on your shit.
Right. No.
It's not nice.
Yeah. And Irakli maybe is just of the mindset that this is my move, this is my best thing, this is what I have to do. And maybe he can pull it off. If it ends up slipping and going to the straps, then things could get equal enough where that high knuckle posting top rope might not be quite as effective.
Paul Lynn, you're usually a guy who's brave and puts your opinions across. Who have you got, Irakli or Marcio?
I got Marcio for sure. And
easy or hard?
What's that?
Easy or hard?
Oh, I think it's going to go back and forth. I don't think Marcio is going to sweep because I think he may have to find a lane. I think that there's a chance that Irakli his top roll is that clean and his hand is that strong, his back pressure is that good that he might steal one, and he might steal the early one. Marcio might go down in the match, but I think Marcio's versatility and straight side pressure, and like Cobra's talking about the explosiveness, I think his versatility and his savviness at the table, he's got too many weapons in his arsenal.
Well, you make an interesting point because he did well with Matt in that respect, didn't he? I can't remember what round it is, maybe the second round or third round of their WL match. He got one, he pegged one back when Matt blasted his hand. And when Matt gets control, he's serious. And he blasted his hand, and Marcio managed to flat wrist him and just drive through with the shoulder. It's a good point, Paul.
Yeah.
Very, very, very versatile arm wrestler. How much have you pulled with Marcio?
Not a ton recently, but early on I was traveling out there once a month or once every 2 months. So at that point I had absolutely nothing for him. So I don't know how much I can learn. Yeah, it was more like just, let me just work statically in the center of the table. But no, I mean, yeah. He's a monster, but I mean, watching all of his matches and following him and talking to him more, table IQ and versatility. I mean, at that weight and overall experience level, there's not that many people. And with Irakli still being young, he's young and he's also coming up in weight to deal with people like Marcio. I think that there's going to be a learning curve.
John, how do you see that? In fact, no, let's go. We'll go John Thompson first. John, how do you see that? Have you, I mean, you had Marcio on there. Was he brimming with confidence or kind of concerned?
Well, Marcio is the type of guy that, that I wish I was. He's always the most, polite, humble, nicest guy you're going to find. He did say that the turnaround from East versus West 3 to now is a little bit less than he might like, in a perfect world. Right. But he said he's, I don't remember what his exact words are, but I got the impression that Irakli needs to be very, very prepared, because Marcio, to me, it felt like he really is interested in moving forward with getting back to a little bit, climbing back up a little bit. I got that sense from him.
Did Marcio say he was tweaked or banged up at all?
No, he did not say he was injured. He said that he was, generally speaking, feeling fine. But he also said, well, look, I go to East versus West one day, I get home, and then I got to go back to work, and I'm working with metal and steel. He's got a very, labor intensive job. So, he said, maybe some of that is in there, but he did say he felt good.
If anybody's got the little wear and tear on him, it'll be Irakli after he got thrashed around by Mr. Hutchins. So, I mean, if we're talking, ability to recover, I mean, which has been, it's crazy. It's been 2 months now. Surely they're both recovered, but
Marcio's like
just a month.
Is it just been a month?
Okay. Yeah, it was May 21st. Yeah.
Marcio's been very transparent, like with me when I talk to him about like where he's at, and I've talked to him prior to a couple of his matches that didn't go his way. And beforehand, just talking to him one-on-one, he expressed concern, maybe with workload at work, and ability to train and the hours he's doing. He's very transparent. It's not excuses. But a lot of times talking to him, I can get a gauge of where he's at confidence-wise. And after speaking to him fairly recently, I think and Travis always talks about like when you peak for a match and you kind of get into that good mode, and he looked great in East versus West. Yeah. Sometimes you can just carry that momentum to another level, and being the fact that he was only talking about like minor tweaks after that match, and then given 5 more weeks of training. And if you watch the stuff he's doing, he appears to be extremely dedicated right now and going really hard, where I don't think he was in some of those prior WAL matches where you might say he underachieved a little bit. So I think he's actually trending. And I also think just reading him a little bit, I feel like his passion for the sport is up in comparison to maybe years past.
Same feeling.
The fire's lit. Yeah. That's what happened with John Brzenk. Look what John Brzenk did. He hurt everybody's feelings.
John's on a tear at the moment. John and Todd are just resurgent.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. I mean,
calls are trying to survive.
Dogs, you lay surviving. Down with dogs, you get up with fleas, buddy.
I know it makes you want to get up and arm wrestle. Cobra Rolls, get your ass in the game, son. Come on.
Right.
You're only like 25 years younger than Pascal. You can do this. Come on.
I'll watch John and be happy for old dudes.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Tremendous.
Ray, good.
You got any counterpoints here, mate, on the Irakli thing? Because he's no bum.
Well, I am European.
Well,
okay. I am European. Yeah. Just for
bias Ray.
I think Marcio's heavy favorite. I think he's way more versatile. Irakli just does one thing. You can look at all of his matches. He just does one thing. He does it very, very well. Yeah, and like was said before, there maybe will be time for Marcio to deal with it, but I think Marcio is the favorite in that match. Irakli is no bum for sure, really strong. I just think Marcio is, and he's one of my favorites. I'm biased there just by saying he's one of my favorites, but he's versatile. Love him in East versus West. Love that he's coming back, and so much experience, like 30 years, close to 30 years in arm wrestling. Just ridiculous amount, pulling the best of the best for 3 decades.
His resume is immoral, isn't it?
It's hard to deal with that, and if something will not work, he will just switch up styles. If that doesn't work, he's relentless on table. We again saw it on in East versus West, and I'm really excited for that match. Yeah.
Does Irakli even have an inside move? Does he have it? Has anybody seen him pull inside, or
No,
did he just
no,
kind of
no.
give up? If he doesn't get the top roll or have that pronation,
He will
melts away.
fight for that back pressure.
The pronation, yeah.
Nice.
The whole
Yeah,
way.
He may pin you with like a dragging pronated. You know, you can get to sort of that open top
Right,
and then just drag through.
But he never pulls wrist to wrist.
He never.
Yeah, he's not going to supinate and kick it on you. Just doesn't do it.
Imagine we see that. I'll be happy.
You'll be in the crowd. You can't do. You're commentating with me.
So I'll be at one point. I'll just jump out. I'm like hook.
Safety Fox with a super chat. He's put, Bill confirmed that both athletes and core sports agreed upon King of the Table 1-2 rule set, and that the athletes were given a written copy. Now, I did see on Devon's thing that he had written rules there, and I saw on Ryan's piece with Bill that he also had written rules, so maybe something in that. Jason Latona with a super chat. Thanks, mate. He's put, sup, gents? Thoughts on if Devon wins, but it's because of rule abuse, how do you as professionals view the win, and does it hurt the sport? John?
Nothing hurts the sport. Nothing hurts the sport. The only bad publicity for this sport is no publicity. Right.
Yeah, I mean, we could always talk about the what ifs if the rules were such and such or different, or poor Levan, he didn't get his the pull outside the straps. I mean, yeah, that debate can continue, but that's always great talk for the rematch.
Yeah,
Right.
Bonnie Raitt, give him something to talk about.
Jesus, he certainly got that. Tell you what, Andy, Christ, this week, mate, there's been a lot to talk about. So every frigging angle under the sun it's got, and I feel like it's only warming up. I actually do feel like it's only warming up. Aussie arm wrestler Jake Ward probably going live after this, I would imagine. If he is, get yourself over to Jake's channel. Is he on tonight? John, are you going over?
He is on. I likely won't be going on with him, but he does have a live stream in about half an hour.
Lovely darts. And Jake's putting their ready bang. The arm wrestling world has gone crazier than fans watching the Beatles coming off the plane. Love you guys. Can I get a ready bang? Get over there. Check it out. White Wolf just come in with a ready fang. Brian Teal with a super chat. He's put, Devon got angry at Ryan's thumbnail. Ryan has apologized. Devon now needs to post a video asking folks to lay off Ryan for humanity's sake. Let's have a look. Cesar Manuzka. That's a good name. Will Levan cry when Devon breaks his arm? Oh. I know I would if he broke my fucking arm. That shit hurts. But he's put, I think this is the burning question.
That shit
everyone
hurts.
It does. Broken arms and
That
battery.
shit
Hurts. It does. Well, so he's put, I think this is the burning question everyone is wondering. I hope nobody gets any injuries. I just hope it's an absolute death war. And
because that shit hurts.
Yeah, because hashtag that shit hurts. What else have we got here? Emperor Engin and Darth Ray. Hey, John, is your daughter married? Well, has John's daughter come on, and is she looking fine or something? What's going on? What have I missed?
That's my wife walking back and forth behind me. That's and she is married.
Renee, it's Renee. Mate, you can't.
Is Renee married?
That's my wife, and she is in fact married.
Both of my daughters are.
Hey, Renee, it's me. Good to see you.
Hey, Renee's mighty fine. Can't knock Renee.
Renee cool as hell, boy. Renee cool as hell.
Renee's in background going, oh, got it.
I had to borrow with Renee for a minute. She cool as hell.
Renee's favorite arm wrestler is Travis Bajan.
So here we go. Mark Boutillier. He's put, is there going to be a press conference? Yeah, I would imagine so, mate. Ray, have you got any dates or times on that at all?
2 minutes.
On the press conference, daytime, do you know it?
No, but it's most likely going to be Friday evening as usual. So Friday evening in Dubai, morning in USA, and
Is a silly question, but is it the time for us about the same? Expected to go off at about noon or 1 o'clock?
I think so. They posted the times. I'll check.
3 p.m. Eastern. 3 p.m. Eastern is the start of the show.
3 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. Noonish.
Okay. Hey, you guys, I got to go prep dinner. I want to say to all y'all that have spit one out or two or as many as me, happy Father's Day. And we'll see you next time.
All right,
Andrew,
Cobra.
Hey,
have a good
Cobra.
day, mate. Happy Father's Day,
Cobra.
brother. See you soon.
All the best. Yeah, thanks for letting me be on the chat with the GOAT, Uncle John
See
Rocks from
you.
Manhattan.
Anytime, mate.
113.
See you,
Later.
Cobra.
Catch you next time, mate. Mediocre
Peace.
Pronator with a super chat. But here we go. My comment may have been misunderstood. Apologies if I'm off that, mate. It's but basically the only person who is going to beat Levan is the next person that will take it as far as Levan has, if you know what I mean. With all due respect, we'll see. We will see. This game's got a funny habit of making you think you know what you're talking about, and then proving to you know what it's all about it. Hasn't it just?
How many times has Devon been an absolute, like, complete underdog in matches, and then he comes out and ends up winning them?
Always.
Yeah.
Almost always.
I've been in the room
He's
a few
finding
times
someone
when John
bigger.
got
He's the underdog.
that. Yeah, it's got a funny habit, mate, of making you eat your words. So you never know. Let's see what goes down. White Wolf with a super chat. Check the Armbet TV vid showing Dennis and Vitali with ego showing how to defeat Levan. Super interesting video. Devon has watched it tons of times. Maybe so. Have you? Any of you guys seen that video?
No.
Does it require a baseball bat, or what's the key?
Yeah. Poison his drink. Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like he's got a pretty stout game. I'm actually interested, genuinely, joking aside now for a moment. I'm actually very interested to see that range if it does turn into a war. I would love it to get to a situation where Levan's got to go through the arsenal, when he's got to go through that technical spectrum, change it up, do different stuff,
Right.
maybe dive forward. I'd love to see that. I would love to see that.
I'm reminded of the old footage of Devon when he pulled Andre Pushkar left-handed. Just everybody thought that was such a mismatch. Andre was so extremely powerful and explosive and was just going to dust Devon, and it stopped, and it became a joke the other way. So
everybody brings up Dennis.
Don't be surprised.
Everybody brings up Dennis left-handed, but nobody brings up Pushkar left-handed for some reason.
But the big thing is the left-hand, right-hand thing. I know Devon said many times he's got a good left, and he does have a good left. He's got a sticky left in spots, but his left is not his right.
Yeah.
When it's healthy, when his right's good, it's really good. And tricky and long and rangy and ugly and horrible. So it's a difficult thing to deal with. Whether Levan's just got too much, we're about to find out. But if not, this could be interesting. Z's guitar account. The fact that Marcio is so limited on how much time he can spend on training, diet, and still maintains his size and skill set is unreal. Dude is a specimen. Can't imagine where he'd be if he trained full time like other guys. Marcio's got natural explosivity as well, mate. He really has. He's venomously quick. So he's got a lot of, John's pulled him over the years. Have you had any time at the table? Did you manage to get any time at the table with Marcio while you were over there, mate? Or have you not done much with him?
No, I haven't pulled Marcio in many, many, many years. Yeah, since probably the WAL in 2015 was the last time we ripped up. But yeah, no, he looked, man, I actually roomed with him in Istanbul, and he's bigger than ever. Looks in incredible shape. But
nice to see a number of lads like yourself, Todd, and Marcio resurgent. It's really good. There was rumors and rumblings a while back that we might see Travis pop up again. You spoke to him recently, didn't you, mate? Is there any truth in that, or not so much?
I spoke with him recently. No,
yeah, you were on his podcast, weren't you?
It's been weeks, hasn't it? Almost a month or so ago.
Did he sound like he was keen or not?
It doesn't sound like it to me. Like he's back. We would, but maybe he's secretly, trying to make a slow comeback so people don't get on him.
Sure.
So he's not time pressured. But yeah, if the opportunities that are out are come available, I'm sure Travis will be back in dangerous form.
Yeah,
it just has to be there.
Travis was at our event yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, he did some reffing early on and had some pretty interesting moments on the microphone, to say the least. But I wouldn't say that he looks like he's in a comeback form, but he is doing some interesting stuff. And I don't know how much you guys talk to Travis about what he's got going on, but he's partnering up with somebody on a series that's related to some form of a reality show, not related to the other one that we've talked about. So I think he's actually going to have to arm wrestle in some fashion, but I don't know if it's going to have to be at a high level.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just enough level, which is very
yeah.
different. But I mean, Travis has got his own family success story going on. I mean, the guy's sons are absolute savages. I mean, Travis is obviously a phenomenal dad. He's done an incredible job with the lads. He supports them inside out, and every credit to him and his family. They look like they are incredible. Tyson and Ezra, every time I'm on social media, I'm seeing them just killing it. Absolute athletes. So brilliant.
Tyson's got another year in college and probably a professional career ahead of him, with Ezra coming up through high school now and just probably getting close to entering the college realm. So I don't see, with the amount of commitment he has to his family, an ability to juggle anyway at all during the football season in the near future at all. But who knows? Travis is all over the place, so you never know.
Yeah, I get it though, 100%. There's nothing going to motivate you like seeing your sons get into a sport like that. It would just blow your head off, wouldn't it? Amazing. So Joel, you with a super chat just put Travis Pageant. Never heard of him. Some guy talks a lot. He used to be decent left-hander a while back. But guys, we're going to wrap this up very soon. We've kept these guys off their Father's Day for a while. John's over with his daughter over there, family over there. But before we wrap it up, we're going to get on the block right now. Go around and see if we can get who's the most accurate on this one. Uncle John Thompson. 3 matches.
Yep.
3 scores.
Easy.
Let's go.
Marcio. So this is we're assuming best of 6. Do they do a silver bullet if it goes 3-3?
Of course they fucking do.
All right, that's what we're gonna assume. I think
no, we're not assuming.
I think Marcio takes it 5-1. He loses a match on fouls. I think Corey West takes the match 6-0. I think Devon Larratt takes the match 4-3.
So we're going to see a silver bullet in the main event.
Hey, if you're going to shoot for the stars, you might as well frickin' do it.
Mate, here's for hoping. I really, really, really wish that was the case. The
arm wrestling needs to win. That would be
hell. That will be the one, mate. Elevates the whole damn thing. The White Hawk, Paul Lynn. 3 matches.
I think I agree a lot with John on the first 2. I think Marcio finishes up around 4-2. I do think he probably potentially drops a match because of fouls, and maybe he loses one direct, but he adjusts and probably wins out. I think Corey and Cadorette, just from knowing a little bit about Corey and where he's at and what he's putting into this match, I see that also as a sweep. And I think there's a stylistic advantage to Corey that a lot of people don't know about. And I think this is his coming out party, and this is his entrance into the big leagues and the rankings.
I can't leave it there, Paul.
Okay.
The stylistic thing there, are you talking about his inability to be top rolled?
Yes. Yep. I mean, maybe I'm proven wrong, but I'll be super surprised if we see his hand go back. Ooh. I think if he loses, I think both guys have a pseudo similar experience level, so I don't give an experience edge to Cadorette. I do think that the inside arm power paired up with the inability to be top rolled. I've been pretty static about my position on this match. I think this is Corey's coming out party, and I think it's going to be decisive. My opinion on that one. The Devon match is where it gets hairy, because I have what I want to happen and I have what I think is going to happen. And I think that what I want to happen is I want to see that match finished with a silver bullet. I want to see, it takes to round 4 where Devon finally finds the chink in the armor and Levan gasses out, and we see close matches even towards the end, and Devon wins 4-3. That's what I want to happen, but my gut is still saying that Levan is desperately protecting his no loss streak in super matches, and that he's going to do everything to make it 6-0.
So that massive, very interesting that you both got Corey so big in there that you both think he's going to really dominate. You know, the other's tight, but
aren't you guys like Americans and Canadians?
Yeah.
And...
Ride or die, baby. Ride or die.
Yeah. You know, honestly, like Corey's my buddy, right? So like, there's got to be some subconscious bias there. Like, I'm trying not to be biased, but honestly, I believe in the stylistic aspect of it. And I've never pulled Alex, so how can I really say? But I've seen him have success against other top rollers, but he's not going to be dealing with that. And you know, seeing him against Hermes, who Hermes obviously has like tremendously strong hand and everything, and stylist, like, but it's smaller. He's going to be grabbing onto like a Kodiak Grizzly hand. And I don't know if he has the experience or straight horsepower to handle that. Now, I could be eating crow, and maybe it is subconscious bias, but I genuinely believe it.
yeah, I mean, the one thing I will attest to is I'm not going to give what I believe. I'm actually going to do a video before this thing that I'll post just after, breaking down how I see each match and so on and so on. Because of my proximity to the match and my involvement in the match, I don't think it's respectful that I sort of go out there and give my own opinions on it. But I will do that video and I will post it straight after. I'm not going to ask Ray to do it because of that, really. Although I think you've gone out there already, haven't you, Ray?
No.
Okay, so I will hang Ray's comment as well. I'd rather not you go in there as well. Just because
I was ready to leave the meeting as soon as you asked me.
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
I have it up. I was like, I'm just gonna click. I was like, so I think, and
but we do got to do.
But I want to say one thing, okay? Just one thing.
You mother.
And he's gone.
You're not even funny. You're just a prick to me.
This is really important too.
Total.
I got some earth-shattering news to give you right about now.
Yeah, when Artem and I were doing our little podcast, I did that to him like the last 3 episodes, and I would just sit and crack up after doing it. I love it more than anything. Hold on, Click.
Right, Cobra. Come on, mate. Listen, I don't know whether you caught the whole stream on this thing, mate.
I did.
Basically,
I did.
3 matches, 3 scores.
Which one you want first?
Marcio Irakli.
Marcio 4-1.
Ooh, another big. You've gone big. Like six rounds, mate. It's a 6.
Yeah, you can let the second one go. 4-2.
Okay.
Yeah. You won't be worried about it. It's going to be a war. It's going to be violent for sure. But I think that Irakli has nothing. He offers nothing that Marcio has not seen before. And what Marcio offers is something that Irakli's never. I don't think he's faced such an explosive hit. And if the guy's flying over there, he's focused and dialed in, and he knows what's in his purse. So he's going to spend it all.
Fair enough. Next up, we've got Corey, massive Westicles.
Yeah, this guy's an anomaly, and I think that he's going to win the whole thing.
You're going 6-0 again.
Yeah, I think that kid's going to go 6-0. No, I believe Marcio can lose a match. The only thing I'm concerned with Marcio is him keeping his heart rate down and not letting his elbow pop. So that's where I think he'd get into some trouble. I'm hoping that Bill doesn't go too tight waff, and they're calling every little thing in those matches. And then when Devon's match happens, the rules loosen up. I hope they keep it consistent all the way down so that it stays the same for every match, those rules. Because, Bill is not like a true waff ref that calls it on daylight. And that's how I grew up in this sport. They call a foul on daylight. If you see something, it's a wrap. I mean, depending on where you are and who you are, they call it. But that's like what I consider arm wrestling. I say if there's daylight, call a foul. Everybody knows it. It's over with. But that would be the only problem that I see if Marcio got too excited with that side hit, because sometimes you can't contain it. The little Craig Toulier bop. Marcio can have that at times.
He can get a little excited and get too violent for his own good, get some lifting going on. Fair enough.
And, the last match is Devon. I see that at 4-2. I see that at 4-2.
Or
I
Devon.
think, yeah.
For Devon.
Yeah, and Devon, another thing, I'm not wishing injury or anything on anyone, but we haven't seen the Georgian push to that place yet. And let me tell you this, Devon's arm, nothing's going to go pop bing in that. I know nothing's going to go snap or anything in Devon's arm. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see 6 matches. If perhaps there's a little tweak and someone's ego gets in their way, and after 4 matches, oh, I can't go on anymore, this hurts. Don't be surprised if you don't see 6 matches there, because there's egos involved. And this Georgian has been fluffed up very, very firmly by the fluffers in Eastern Europe. And now he's going to be on that stage all alone. There's no stunt cock. He's got to do it all. So, and that's when you see a man maybe turn into a baby.
I mean, let's be honest. He's deserving of a bit of fluffing.
Yeah, I don't see that in the Georgian. All the Georgians that I've ever seen arm wrestle, they're warriors until the end, and they will commit their lives
hard,
to win a match.
I know those same guys. I haven't seen this Georgian push to that. I haven't seen him.
I'm just saying any of the Georgians that I've ever seen, and they're all
right.
The same breed. They are beasts.
I know this. I put them on the pad myself.
I've seen you. Remember that match in Geneva '92, mate, when you and that dude for about, what was it, Georgie? Was it? That was a fun. When you.
Yeah.
Who's this, John?
No, you in '92 with the Georgian in Geneva. You were in the strap. No, in your weight class. In Geneva '92, in your weight class.
Jimmy, yeah, he's strong as hell.
That was a match.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not shitting on a nation. Don't get it twisted. Now I'm trying to live longer. I'm saying I haven't seen the big Georgian punched in the nose yet.
Right. That mostly because not many. Well, he's taken losses and he has dug in, but recent times he's been like the unstoppable force. I mean,
yeah, I think once he gets punched in the nose, things might change, and Devon's the one to do it.
4-2 says Cobra Rhodes. We got 3 in the Devon camp right now.
All right, soft shell crab guys, gotta work. Peace.
Hey, Cobra.
Here we go. Greatest arm wrestler of all time, John.
All right, you're gonna make me commit, huh? Well, I'll start with the Devon Levan match. I think it will go down to a tiebreaker match. I think it might require 3 matches for Devon to figure out some way, or not even to figure out, but maybe Levan lets down a little bit, makes a mistake, does something a little wrong, and in his brain goes, I can't lose a single match, and that'll be the end of that series, and Devon will come out the next 3 matches and then win the tiebreaker. So I'm gonna go 4-3 Devon on that match. Is that what you said, John?
Yeah.
Am I repeating you? Is this something?
Silver bullets.
I just think I think something will happen. It'll be so. Devon will figure it out, or he's strong enough to actually pull it off, or Levan lets down and starts showboating. But there will be something that happens that transpires that match ends up stopping, and then when it does, it'll be all over. So whenever that happens, it might be 5-1, it might be 4-2, but I'm going to give Levan the benefit of the doubt and say that he wins the first 3 before there's a letdown.
Whoa.
Marcio and Irakli. I don't think Irakli has a lot of endurance, so as long as Marcio wins the first one, I have no reason to believe that he won't win the next 5. So I'm going to say 6-0 Marcio. Corey and Alex, I don't know what to think. Everybody thought Cadorette was the man after he beat Hermes, and I still think he's got a ton of power. I don't know what the hell happened to him, but if he returns back to the form that he was when he pulled Hermes, I have no reason to think that he can't put Corey out of position. He might not be able to top roll him, but he's tall enough, and to make things really difficult for Corey. If Corey can maintain his hand and wrist and get a little positioned momentum going his direction, obviously Corey's a ton to stop. And so I'm going to say that Corey wins the first 3, and then it's questionable. So I'm going to predict a 4-2, just because I'm hoping that Corey wins. A 4-2 against Alex, but it scares me. I mean, Alex could easily go 6-0 if he can get that hand in wrist position and just hang out there for a while and wear Corey down. But yeah, no, Corey's got plenty of power. He just needs to pull it in. If in watching Alex practice recently with Hermes, he does definitely look like he's maybe not so strong inside as he once was, but I don't know why. But yeah, So what did I say? 4-2? I'm changing my mind now.
There you go. You're going 4-2.
4-2, Corey.
4-2, Corey West. So there's your results, guys, as seen by our very, very experienced panel here. And I'm going to just make a little call because I've got a message from me mate Jerry Cadorette. Sent me a message over just there. He's put, I'll read this. He's put, sorry for not getting on, mate. My kids threw a surprise get together for me, being it's Father's Day, and it's still going on. So sorry, Jerry. Right. Now then, we're going to try and just cap something though, because hopefully Jerry's around to answer this, and I can get a live cock on the block moment with Jerry Cadorette.
I wonder if Chance is at the party too.
Some of this. Chance will be there. Chance.
I gotta drop, guys. Been a pleasure.
See you, Paul.
Great to
Yeah,
see you
I'm
all
going to go
again.
too. This has been way too long. I actually have some
Me
fun
too.
stuff to do. Not that
Me
this hasn't
too.
been fun. Guys, take care, John. Neil, always a
Happy
pleasure.
Father's Day, guys.
Take it easy,
Have a
guys.
blessed one.
I don't know how this shuts off. I'm just going to shut
Jerry.
my phone off. Hopefully you don't get a spinning wheel from me or something
Let
like
me
that.
just bring you in on proceedings. John and Paul are just dropping off. We're here live on the Fix. Got your message about not being able to come on the party and stuff, but I wanted to just put you to the microphone here and get a little bit of a floppy dog on the block moment, son. We got 3 matches going on in Dubai next week. I'm going to give you the 3 matches, and I want you to give me your predictions on how these finish, if you're good to go.
Yep.
First match is, just a second, can you hear that, John?
Yes.
First match will be Marcio Barboza and Irakli. Who you got and why? 6 rounds.
Well, I think that it's going to be a tough match, but I got Marcio based on the way he's looking coming back and hungry for it. And I got him, they pull 6 no matter?
6 rounds.
Yeah, 4-2, Marcio.
4-2 Marcio, says Jerry Cadorette. And we will get Jerry on in the next weekend. We'll get him on straight after because he's got something big going down in Istanbul as well. Next match, mate, will be Corey, the Gorilla West, and Alex Cadorette. Who have you got?
Corey's super strong and stronger than Alex. I think Corey takes the first match. Alex is going to adjust, go for the hand. Alex takes match 2. And then Corey has to snap out of it. And I'm going with Corey 5-1.
Corey West 5-1. Massive influx of everybody's gone for Corey West tonight. Guy's got some popularity after what he did to Krasimir. Last but by no means least, Ginger Dread Man, here we go. I had to do that to piss him off. He loves it. Next time I'll see him be like, you motherfucker. Right, so last match, mate. It's Devon and Levan. Who have you got?
This is the match, right? I mean, this is the one that everyone's been talking about. Everyone wanted to see. So I see it going. Devon is looking for Levan to make the mistake. And the mistake that's going to cost him the whole tournament. Because once he makes the mistake, Devon's going to bleed him out. And Devon's going to make him pay for making the mistake. I think Levan takes the first match, and I think Devon adjusts because he has no idea how much power this dude has. I mean, it's inevitable. I mean, we obviously know that Levan is much stronger than Devon, but I think second match, Devon's in his head. I think Levan comes to the table overhyped and makes the mistake. And I think Devon bleeds him out second match, pulls out the win. And then I think third match is going to be, so I got 1-1 after the first two matches. Then I think Levan takes the third match, because he's going to be raged up. And but then I think Devon goes 4-2 because he gets him on the fourth match.
Holy mother of mothers. Jerry Cadorette, thank you for your time, mate. I'll call you soon. We'll jump back on here, but enjoy the party, mate, and thanks for that. Much appreciated.
Yeah, no worries.
Cheers, dude. Biggity bong.
Are you kidding me? Every single person that you asked today has got Devon Larratt beating Levan Saginashvili. Every single one of us. You know what that tells me, Neil? It tells me that I've done my job pretty damn well. That's what it tells me.
I tell you what, mate. What can I say? Oh my word! Talk about swing in the way that people are. I can't believe it. Let's just knock over a couple of super chats while I try to get my brain around what I just heard. White Wolf has come in with a super chat. White Wolf in the mother fluffing chat. Good to see him in here. Thanks for your support, mate. He's put Devon's last minute walkout music. Underdog, speed of lightning, power of thunder. Underdog. Wow. Silky Wilkie. Welcome to the show, mate. And thanks for your super chat. He's put, how do arm wrestlers resolve themselves between match rounds? Those seconds to quell the mind or to prime the hand, quite a balance. What should you do to hype yourself up or to finish strong? A lot of that depends on your mental game, mate. Depends on who you are as an individual. Different guys have different ways of doing it. For example, Michael Todd. If Michael smells blood in the water, if he's confident, extremely difficult man to beat. If he's had a bit of an ass whipping and isn't feeling it, and he usually knows before he gets to the table on the night, then he's a very different dude. There are so many examples of people with different approaches in this thing. Some guys will go till they cross the line, regardless. I mean, the man on the call right now, John Thompson, go till he crosses the line, win, lose, or draw. Couldn't give an arsehole. Just not interested. Keep going. Keep watching. Unbelievable stuff. But yeah, really depends on the individual in the match, mate, and how they take it. But goddamn, John.
I am just so, I don't know what the word is, but I'm going to use the word tickled. I'm incredibly tickled at this whole situation.
I wouldn't have bet on that. If people had said to me when they were coming on, who will these guys go for and how will they bet on that last match particularly?
Yeah,
I kind of get it on the Marcio and Irakli thing. Yeah, I expected that would be the consensus. I know there's a lot of love for Corey at the moment, and Corey's looked remarkable recently, but Alex is ridiculous as well. So yeah,
I think with the Corey thing, I'm definitely Corey wagon for sure, but I think it could go 6-0 either way, to be honest with you. Like I think if one guy has it, they might really have it over the other guy. And so I go Corey all the way.
It's just ridiculous. We got a last minute super chat before we jump off. Bowler 1524. Have you seen Devon's symmetry video where he shows his right arm versus left arm? Yes, sir. Yeah. Seen that. And we are. Well, I say we. You're not actually going out for this one, are you, John? But it's a shame actually. I thought you might get over there for this. But
I'd love to.
Yeah, but I'll tell you where John will be. Arm Wars Iron House 2 is where he will be soon. And pretty important day right here.
Yeah.
Because I think this is the last day, isn't it, mate?
It is. I just put up the notice on the community page. Today is the last day to get your applications in for Arm Wars Savage Search. Let me tell you, Neil, we got some zingers coming in.
I've been checking some of these out when you've been pinging them over. Yeah. some great
pillars.
Some absolute dynamite stuff. Some guys have looked really impressive. Thank you to everybody who sent stuff over to John for that. Yeah. I've been watching those. Some I really, really like.
Yes.
Some I really, really like. I mean, some guys, I don't even understand why.
Right?
Some people call me a strawberry cough. Some people call me a chicken man.
The chicken man.
I don't even know why. But who gives a shit? Because I love Joe Cagle. What am I going to tell you? Love him.
He gets in. He
I love
gets
him.
in there.
Love him.
He lives.
Don't know why. Lives in my head. Love him. Absolutely love him. John, I mean, Therian. Jesus Christ. We can't get into it. But there's so many guys that are looking red hot in there. So, wow. Yeah, Savage Search. It's on. We're going to be spending some time having a really good look at those, having a good think. It's going to be extremely competitive. I feel like we're going to have a hard job ahead.
It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot to go through because some of those guys really, really put it out. And everybody that applied, like, good on you, because this is the first time, to my knowledge, that anything like this has really ever been done, right? And like some guys went all in. They went all in on this.
Listen, anybody and everybody who's had a go at this thing, I really hope it pays off for you as well. Even if you don't make it to the, obviously we've got to be selective, and it's going to be still of a job to do, to be perfectly honest, because you want to give more guys opportunities. We're going to have to be selective. We're going to be picking the guys that we think are the right people. But what I will say is that everybody that's taken the time to have a crack at this thing, good for you. Not an easy thing to do, really isn't. And a lot of these guys are probably out of the comfort zone as well, so not easy. Well done, guys, and thank you for taking the time to do that. We will, and we are having a good look at everything. We'll wrap our heads around it. We'll get myself and James are going to be looking at that when we're on our way over to Dubai. We are heading over there, just to give you some updates, heading over there next week for the big match. Very excited to be at this thing. Can't wait.
Let me ask you just a couple questions about what your role is, because I'm very excited for you to be commentating. But are you on the hook to be a part of like the press conference or the weigh-ins, or like what's?
To be honest, at the moment, unprescribed. Haven't had that information through, but I would expect so, mate. Yeah, I would expect that I'll be involved with the press, or I would expect that I've already been involved with certain elements now, preemptively sending stuff over for the team to use. Pretty sure I'll be doing a dual role over there, so I'll be calling the guys to the table, emceeing, and then jump in, stick the headphones on, get behind the mic and commentate the thing. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Can't wait. It'd be good to get back in the mix.
Yes.
And and I like you. He's put, Neil, please don't be biased in the commentary. Mate, I will do my best to commentate and call it as I see it. If you've ever seen any of my commentary before, it's what you're going to get. I'll try my very best in that respect. If you feel I'm biased, it's up to you. If I feel I'm being biased, if you pull in my mum, I'm probably going to be biased, mate. But other than that, what you need to wrap your head around is, I know a lot of the guys in the chat will be emotional about this. I really, really don't care who wins the match. If I'm perfectly honest, I just don't. I'm not emotional about that. It doesn't make any difference to me. It's an arm wrestling match. It's as simple as that. I've seen my friends win them, my friends lose them. I really like both these guys. Obviously, I'm very, very close to Devon. Devon's been a friend of mine for many years. I'm a big fan of Levan Saginashvili. I think he's an absolute beast. What I want to happen, who I want to win, doesn't make a scrap of difference. Not a scrap of difference. The guys are going to go out there, they're going to perform to the best, and the best man on the night will win. And good on them for doing that. I'll just call it how I see it. And I'm really hoping that it's in a mega match. I'm really hoping both guys get to show what they can do. Both guys can do a lot. I think it'll be a cracker. I hope it's a cracker. I hope it doesn't descend. And I honestly hope that the rules and the refs and is not a thing. I would like to see, personally, use of the square in the air. I think it's a weapon that the sport should use. I know I'm biased because it's my thing from Arm Wars, but it's brilliant. It helps the referees out an enormous amount. It takes away. I saw on Ryan's thing with Bill where he was saying about the pressure and so on. This depressurizes that scenario for Bill massively because he knows he's got that, and it's part of the show for all you guys. So any contestation, you go to the square in the air and it's resolved. Very simple.
And let's be honest, it's almost guaranteed that there will be contestation of some kind in that match.
I can't imagine that this thing runs smooth as silk. And it would kind of be disappointing in some respects if it did. Everybody's looking for the drama. Everybody wants there to be that talking point. But what we do want is it to be decided on arm wrestling, not on fouls and infringements. We really, really hope that this goes and you know, recently in the East versus West stuff, in Arm Wars, we've been seeing some phenomenal matches. We've been seeing the best of arm wrestling, and arm wrestling has a lot to offer in that respect. So hopefully this is another example of that. Yes. That's what I'm hoping for. Really is. So we'll see. But God damn, it's an exciting time to be an arm wrestler, isn't it? An arm wrestling fan. And thank you to all of you guys that are supporting the sport, tuning in, spending your time on the sport of arm wrestling. Genuinely, thank you for doing that. It's fantastic to have you all involved and so passionate about the sport. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight as well, guys. Really do. I want to say one more time before we jump off, and I'll let John get back on with his day. Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. Hope all of the rest of your families are happy and healthy. Have a cracking weekend, what's left of it. And the build-up going into this match. Enjoy it, get involved in it, keep it clean, guys. But should be a cracker. Remember, the show's brought to you by Western Survivor, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest beef jerky in the world. And also by armwrestlingforums.com. You want to keep in touch with the sport of arm wrestling, get over to armwrestlingforums.com, subscribe, get the newsletter, keep yourself up to date. John, thanks for tuning in, mate. Thanks for coming on the show. Really, really appreciate it. Great to have you on. John's got a lot going down. Nationals is coming up next for you, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, I got so the week after Devon versus Levan, I got Nationals, and then it's 2 months of the most hardcore training ever for my match against Rob Frampton, the 360-pound former world's strongest man competitor. So I'll be going hard for that one.
Busy times. Anything exciting coming up this week on the lead up, mate, on your channel?
Oh man, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more videos coming out. I think I'm going to do a tale of the tape and show how enormous Devon is versus how tiny Levan is. You know, I'm really finding my niche of pissing people off a little bit with totally inane, stupid content. So, you know, maybe you'll see a little bit of that. It's
pushing the boundary as hard as you can. Fair enough. Guys, if this is your first time tuning in, first time here on Supernatural Strength Channel, please do like, share, and subscribe. Give us a sub, guys. Really helps us to grow and to keep this content coming for you. We'll hopefully be back if everything goes okay and the plane stays in the air and everything. We'll be back on the fix next week. I might look even ropier than I normally do because I'll be knackered after just coming off the flight, but we will try and do that. If not, we'll put it on the night after. Thank you again for everybody that has subscribed and follow the channel. Please get over to the new Arm Wars channel and subscribe there also. We're really trying hard with that, myself and James Statham. There's some great films over there. Go check them out. Get subbed. For all you guys asking about merch, look in the descriptions, guys. And until we see you next time here on The Fix, take it easy, peeps. And I think we are probably